Welcome to Fandom.
And Wellness.
A podcast about the complex relationship between fandom and mental health.
Disclaimer, we are not psychiatrists or psychologists. We are just fangirls with a vested interest in mental health.
This episode, we will be talking about the Avengers Endgame.
Emotions are still raw.
Okay,
Yeah.
This whole episode is a spoiler. So if you have not seen it, stop listening and go watch it first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please do that. Now, so what is everyone's general thoughts of the movie?
About the accumulation of 11 years of superhero movies.
Yes. Yeah.
I cried a lot.
You were
Yeah.
right next to us. You heard us cry a lot.
It was a real joy watching this movie next to Jenny, who cried throughout many scenes. So I felt like I got my money's worth. Because I am a big fan of crying and expressing emotions.
I was, man, the fucking waterworks were on. It was so intense. I could not. And Arkeida was crying a lot too. And
I was screaming a lot. I literally lost my voice. To be
Yeah.
fair, we saw this. So we rented out an entire theater to hold an after party for Awesome Con. So we had the privilege and joy of seeing it, which is like a bunch of other geeks.
right.
So
Yes.
everyone was screaming and crying, and it was a very different experience than the second time I saw it in Texas, where it was basically silent the whole time in the theater.
That's so
What?
And I was like,
awkward.
"What is this? Why are people yelling and laughing?" And I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, that's awkward. I also am planning to see it again this Saturday. And
Yeah.
hopefully, I think New York City people are very loud and very
Oh yeah, we definitely are.
rambunctious. So I think I will get the reaction that I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, even though obviously I was devastated that Tony Stark died.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I'm sorry to laugh. Robert Downey Jr. is Jenny's background on her phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
I
not funny. It's just I love Jenny, and it. Yeah.
I had to change it. I couldn't be reminded
Oh
every
my
time I looked at my
God.
phone. It was a satisfying conclusion, I think, to his story arc.
And you knew he was gonna die going into the movie, right?
I had a feeling.
I had
I
suspicions.
knew. It was
one or the other for me. Or the other being Captain America. It was
Right.
It was one of the other.
yeah. I think a lot of people thought both were going to die, and I enjoyed the fact that only one of them did.
Yes. I don't think we
But
could have
both stories
handled
ended.
both dying.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was interesting, as I also knew it was probably going to be a time travel movie. And it was really interesting the way they did it, because we got to basically revisit past movies and remember why we loved it and see the ways in which different things could have gone differently too.
Yeah. I also
yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I liked that we got to go back to some of the older movies and see how much the characters have grown as people. Like, just their characters
true.
themselves. Like, how much more we've come to love Loki and how much more I personally have come to love Hulk, because I was never a Hulk fan growing up. Or ever
Yeah.
until Mark Ruffalo played him.
Yeah. Also, like one of my favorite scenes was when they saw Star-Lord singing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But like from the outsider's perspective of like, he's like listening to his like iPod or whatever singing, and it's so relatable, like just like singing with such like a poor voice.
Oh my God,
Thinking that you're sounding like hot shit.
He was listening to a cassette, not an iPod.
Okay, yes, I'm sorry.
So no, I just joking. I'm like, they're not.
But you are 100% right.
What a fucking idiot.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, it was good. Yeah, and I also really liked when it was like an extended scene, like of the Avengers, for example, like after they caught Loki and then they like unfroze from their superhero pose over Loki, and they're like, "All right, we're done." I also really liked. Yeah, we're jumping around, but I also really liked them going back to the 1970s and Tony meeting his father. That was cool. Him being a fucking idiot too, my name's also Howard. Like,
you couldn't think of any other name.
Yeah, I'm like,
really, Tony.
Tony would have been fine if he just said Tony.
Yeah,
that's a common enough fucking name. Oh my god.
Also, I like that he didn't even realize that it was like his birthday. Or like,
well, I don't know,
about to be, or like very
right.
soon to be his birthday, I guess, because he said that he was expecting, or his wife is expecting.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I don't know if they knew exactly what day they went back to.
Yeah,
I have no. Who know how time travel actually works?
Yeah.
I think that this movie doesn't know how time travel actually works, but that's okay. It was still fun.
I don't know how time travel actually works, so whatever they say, I'll believe.
I've read so many articles and they all explain it differently. And I'm like, I'm done. Like,
yeah, you know what? Until we start time traveling, it's okay to have movies that don't make sense.
Right. It literally is. It's science fiction for a reason. It's fiction. There's a reason why. Yeah.
So, what did you think about his daughter?
Oh, she's the cutest. Oh my god, she's honestly the cutest. And I'm
Jenny's
very
hand
happy.
is over her mouth right now, unable to express words.
Oh no, Jenny.
It's like, my favorite thing was when Tony's reaction to her saying "I love you 3000," and he was like, "Wow, that's a lot."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
In my mind, I thought she had said "I love you 3000" because he said to her, "I love you a ton," and a ton is 2000.
That is.
Oh, that's what you were going.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I love you more than you love me," and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, it was just that she's super fucking smart already and showing up her dad.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
It's okay.
Does that make you like it even more, Jenny?
Yeah.
So cute.
Well, Jenny, I love you 3000.
Oh, I love you 3000.
So how do you feel about the fact that, like, you know, Tony essentially, like, they could have had everyone come back, like, 5 years, like,
go back to that same moment?
Yeah, but because Tony, like, needed his daughter to be there.
Yeah, he's like, she has to. That was like the ultimatum that he is not going to go back in time because he doesn't want to lose what he's.
But isn't that pretty like self-serving?
No,
I think.
And like the world isn't really prepared for like half of the people on the planet just all of a sudden show back up 5 years later and like.
That was never an option to just go back in time.
Yeah, I think another thing, I don't know. This is probably science, and the reason why it's science fiction. Is if you go back in time to change that, you end up creating another parallel universe where had Thanos been defeated, people would not have been snapped. But the other one where Thanos was not defeated and half of the population was gone, and then you brought them back, it's like you'd go back and create a rift.
So basically, if they had gone back in time and somehow stopped Thanos, that creates a different timeline. And if they continue living in that timeline, this current timeline that they're in would just continue without them. And half the universe would still have snapped away.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very confusing.
I love
so confusing.
Fan theories.
There's another... Yeah, another theory, and it's because I read a lot of books on time travel, is that if you are the person that's going back in time, like, you will still have all of those memories, and then the memories of you existing in those 5 years would still happen because you'd still be there. So then you'd have memories on top of memories. And I read it and it was, never mind. You know what? This is too deep.
I don't think they even want to touch that.
That book got really deep.
Just like, I think that time travel generally works in this universe if I don't think too hard about it, except for Steve Rogers going back in time and then living his life out.
Hey, I'll fight you.
Look, I love it. I fucking love it. But it doesn't make sense for him to still be in that timeline anymore.
I don't care.
I guess. No, wait. I'm so confused.
Steve ending up with Peggy is the best part of the whole movie because Peggy Carter
oh my god,
deserves it.
She does.
Yes, she does deserve it. Like, I am all for it. All I'm saying is that...
I know. I understand it doesn't make sense, and that was a big problem everyone had, but I just care. I just don't care at all.
It's fine. I think it's fine. I just... Honestly, he could have just, like... He could have appeared back on that, like, platform, but they wanted to make it dramatic. And I know.
I love the idea of him just, like, you know, because he probably had to, like, stay in that house for the most part. Unless he was in some sort of disguise. Because everyone at that time knew who Captain America was.
I don't know if everyone did.
I mean, I'm sure that if he took off his uniform and he'd look like a generic white guy.
No, he was a celebrity.
Okay, well, yes, he was, but, like, everyone
I'm
really
saying I like the idea of, like, her being, like, the breadwinner and him, like, having to be, like, the stay-at-home dad and home.
That's
like,
cute.
Her coming home from work and him just being, like, so happy he gets to be with her.
But now you're imagining a weird, like, a kind of a nightmare scenario where he is not allowed to go outside of his house.
I don't think... Yeah. He doesn't care. He didn't care. He was so happy.
We're assuming that he ends up with Peggy, though, because he didn't want to tell us about the girl. I would like to believe it's Peggy.
That's what they showed. It was Peggy.
I thought it was open-ended.
He ended up with Peggy.
Well, they showed the dance, so it's almost definitely...
They showed the dance.
I just love that he was like, he's like, I don't think I'll tell you about her. And I leaned over to Arkeida and I was like, psh, you know he went back in time and ended up with Peggy.
Yeah.
And I said it all cocky. And then they showed it and I still was like a blubbering mess. Just like,
yeah, I think he just didn't want to tell him about it because it's precious to him, I guess.
Yeah. I guess.
But yeah, that was really sweet.
Peggy deserved that.
I mean, Peggy would have gotten married anyway, but like...
I thought she had married somebody else.
Right, but like, if I'm assuming that Steve Rogers was the love of her life, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely was.
Yeah.
They were the love of each other, like...
Look, anyone would be lucky to marry her.
Yeah. But...
Oh, man.
Thank you, Steve Rogers, for... giving her that dance, the ass.
Thank you, Steve Rogers, for America's ass.
Yes. But
I can't believe he said that about his own ass.
You know, he probably, like, when he first became Captain America, he would have never. I think it's the influence of Tony.
Yeah.
It really is Tony's influence.
Yeah. And it's funny because, like, you know, it's like a play on, like, how hypersexualized his character has been throughout the years. And it's like...
Yeah.
Alright, fuck it.
Let's do it. Make money off that.
He curses a lot in this movie too.
He does. I was at one point. I was like, language.
Yeah. And he also to talk about mental health more. So like it starts with him leading a grief counseling session.
Right.
And talking about how you need to move on, which obviously he's never going to move on from Peggy, who he ends up with Arkeida.
Okay. Well, I mean, aside from Peggy, the moving on from the snap and what happens because the movie, the start of it then takes place 5 years after, and you see that the world is still in shambles. People are still mourning. Nobody can quite get back to their old lives or it's like hard to find a new normal after something so traumatic happens.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, losing someone close to you is a form of trauma.
For sure. Yeah.
It is, and imagine that happening on a greater scale. Like, like just imagine losing half of your family.
Yeah. At least, I mean, like Hawkeye, for example, lost his whole family.
Right.
Do we want to talk about what happened with him?
Sure.
After he lost his family?
Yeah. So let's go dig into Hawkeye. So then I'm assuming that then becomes Ronin because he loses his whole family. And that in itself is traumatic, and he goes on kind of a vigilante streak and just starts executing all bad guys, no matter what affiliation they have.
Which let's just talk about for 1 second, that's pretty problematic that he went to a bunch of different foreign countries and killed quote-unquote bad guys that were people of color instead of killing bad guys in America that were white. But
yeah, no, I was just like, I'm pretty certain there's still bad people in America too. Yeah. Like you didn't have to go all the way.
He didn't have to go kill a bunch of Mexican cartel and then
obviously they wanted to show the global scale, I guess, of him, but he could also gone to more European countries.
I understand
definitely
the point,
could have gone to
they
Russia.
Definitely did not treat people of color well in this scenario in this movie.
Yeah, they did not.
But sorry, continue.
So his whole family is that's rough for sure.
That scene was super just like wild. Just like he's like teaching his daughter how to shoot a bow and arrow, and then he turns around and they're all gone.
Right.
And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, he must think they've been kidnapped. He has no clue what's going on. Like,
what would you even think?
Right. He would have no fucking idea.
Like, at least if you're in the city, you can see, like,
other people around.
Like, other people still there, and, like, at a mass scale, like, people being dusted.
Right.
Yeah, but he was alone.
Yeah, that's rough. And I guess I wonder whether he thought about going back to Natasha, right?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he just tried to handle his grief by himself.
Right, which obviously did not work.
It didn't work, but I feel like a lot of people do that before they...
Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Often men, yes.
But even
therapy
still,
is your friend.
It is. But even still, it took Natasha going and seeking him out before he came back to, like, civilization of some sort. Because he was like, I'm not that same person to her. It's essentially like, you gave me this chance and this is me trying to redeem you and give you this chance.
I do love that a lot, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love, I do love how much this movie showed their bond.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Too.
And that, like, I was a little worried that they were gonna, like, try to, like, make it romantic.
I was worried about that, too. I was
really happy that they didn't.
Yeah. This movie doesn't, have any time to develop any new romances right now.
Didn't need it.
Talking about Natasha.
Yeah, let's go on into her. I feel as though it should have been Hawkeye. I'm sorry. It really I mean, I understand why it's her. I do. Because when you think about it, she doesn't really have any immediate family. If something were to go wrong, like, this is me thinking in her brain, this is the stuff that she's going through. It has to be her.
Yeah, but this is, like, what the patriarchy tells us, right? That, like, as women, our only worth is if we have family.
Right. But she has family. The Avengers are her family.
Right.
Yeah, but, like, just because he has kids, it doesn't mean she is worth less. And that she should have died instead of him. Which was her thinking. It was obviously her thinking. Also, she was super impacted by grief and feeling like she failed and, like, she needed to get everyone back no matter what the cost.
Right, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jenny's face. So happy.
Yeah, and I didn't...
So was she fridged or no? Was she fridged or did she die a hero's death?
I think she died a hero's death. And I say this because I don't foresee Hawkeye growing any further in the MCU at this moment.
Right, she wasn't, like, there was no one was motivated necessarily by her death because they were already motivated by the snap.
Right.
But they were definitely impacted by it, and she sacrificed herself, and it was a accumulation. Is that how you say it? Of her entire story arc. Over the past 20 movies.
Oh my god, so many movies. But yes, Man, oh my god.
it was really hard. It was really hard to watch two people try so hard to basically kill themselves.
I know. I just like it's
very different than when Thanos and Gamora were there.
Right. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Ben looked at me with like the most dramatic face. He was like, "What's happening?"
Yeah, I had a moment where I was like, I don't know who it's actually gonna be. Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But also, Robert Downey Jr. said something in an interview about how he likes, how he's most interested by Natasha's arc in this movie. So I'm like, she's the one who's gonna die.
Oh,
yeah. So how do you feel about the fact that they're the two who died?
I don't know. Like I said, the death of Tony Stark it makes sense, and
they had to kill him because his character has been so selfish for the majority of the movie.
No fucking comment.
I love Tony Stark. Okay,
I cannot have people. I cannot.
Jenny cannot. Just in case you didn't get that,
he had to be selfless in the end. Like he had to be.
I don't think he's a selfish person.
I don't think he's a selfish person. I don't think he's self-serving.
I think that he's as self-serving as any other person in this universe, other than maybe Steve
I think we
Rogers.
feel that way because he's a billionaire.
Okay, that's fair. To be fair, I just really love Steve Rogers. So.
Yeah, and you can.
No, I love Iron Man.
Yeah, but like I don't see. I was listening to another podcast where they also shit on him, and I was not here for it because I think that
the thing is, I think he's self-serving, but I think it's okay to be self-serving because he's a fucking leader, and he knows what to do.
How is he self-serving? I guess.
I don't know. Why were you upset about the shitting on him at the other podcast?
Because I don't.
Other than just like that, you love him.
I love, but like, people like to say like you only like defend them because you love them, and I'm like,
no, I don't agree with that.
I defend them. I love them because of reasons, and because of those reasons, I also defend them.
I think he's smart and he knows what he's doing, and
he's smart. He's somebody that
I think he thinks about the whole team. I don't think he just thinks about himself.
He thinks about the whole team, and I feel as though over the years he strived more for accountability, not only with himself but with the team, and I think that's growing a lot as a person who never used to think that way. Like I feel like that's shown a lot of growth in him.
I think that I've like over the years I felt that the Avengers movies could have been more. I love them. I like them. Yeah, I like the first one a lot. I like the second one too. But I felt like we could have had more team building in those movies because I felt like they spend a lot of time fighting in those movies.
They do spend a lot more time focusing on like Cap and Iron Man like fighting with each other, and it's like and
I don't think they spend enough time resolving those issues either.
No, they focus more on like little feel good moments of them doing it.
Yeah,
right. But I don't think they ever they didn't really resolve their like last fight in this movie.
No, they didn't.
Right?
Not really. No, it was like it came down to a moment of okay, I trust you, but it was as he was sacrificing himself, or like in that big fight.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry. I had an immediate reaction to someone calling him selfish. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be like so aggressive.
It's okay. I mean, I'm sorry. I think he's selfish, but I think it's okay that he's selfish.
But like I said, I think he's just as selfish as any other person, right?
Sure. I think his arrogance makes it a little more glaring at times.
I will say, Jenny, I'm disappointed. You did not hug the Iron Man Funko that I gave you, and you said you were going to do it in the movie.
I forgot.
And you did it.
I forgot it at the house.
She did hug my Bucky dress that was on a mannequin.
I did.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, it's like, I think that the thing is that I think over the entire, his entire arc, he has been generally moving toward just caring about others. Like the even though we can argue about Ultron all day, but in the end, it was him trying to protect the Earth, and like it didn't end up well.
It didn't end up as well, but that's how they ended up with Vision.
I love Vision so much.
And I'm sad. I thought he was coming back.
I know.
I swore
he
was
died.
gonna come back.
But
he wasn't snapped. He died.
Right, but Shuri was doing something with the stone before, and I thought maybe she finished it and then like stored his brain somewhere.
Yeah,
and I think that might still happen in like the TV show.
I would love that so much. It's so funny because I've seen so many write-ups and heard so many podcasts talk about how like why should we care at all about like Wanda and Vision like being together, because in the previous Avengers movie all of a sudden they're just together, and for me I was so fucking happy about it. Because, like, it's a nod to the comic books.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, so, like, there's so much going on in these movies, they don't have time to get into every little thing.
Yeah, I don't mind that there was, like no big lead up to it.
Yeah, he flew in, he rescued her in the first Avengers movie. And then they were together in the next Avengers movie, and then, I don't know, I love them so much. Scarlet Witch is one of my favorite characters of all time.
She wasn't in this movie like much, but the
moment
she was.
But she was. Yeah, it was like, I mean, like one of my favorite scenes is when she takes on Thanos, because she is so powerful, and throughout the course of any time I've seen her on screen in cartoons or in the cinematic universe, no one knows how to write her.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone's just like, oh, she's so unstable with her powers, but she is so powerful.
Yeah,
and so I like that finally they showed how powerful she is.
I think they showed a little bit of that in Infinity War.
Yeah, a little,
but like that was like chills. How like when he was like, I don't know what did he say? He was like, I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you
are. And she was like, you will.
Yeah.
And then I love that she was kind of like being a grief counselor, like at the end, like talking about how like Vision knows what happened. Like Vision knows, like it's resolved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the Hulk?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm pretty certain, I know I saw this, the Hulk hit the dab in that restaurant. He did it, I saw him, he hit the dab, and I was like, what just happened?
It was pretty funny.
It's so it was very awkward seeing Bruce and Hulk as what, like, you always like, they've always been two separate identities to me. It's always been Bruce as the scientist, Hulk as Hulk, and Hulk smash.
And then suddenly they did that app where they mix two faces together to make a baby.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and I love that Natasha was just kind of like, because he was questioning himself. Which almost felt like he was questioning like his worth, kind of, and Natasha was like, "Well, we never thought you would be able to like control your rage before, and like be able to like maintain your composure type thing."
Yeah.
I do want to see a little bit more about how he became like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I really do. That was a lot. Whatever happened in those 5 years.
Well, I will say when Natasha looked at him like that, I leaned over at Arkeida and I said, "Get it in."
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That is dangerous.
It's not as dangerous as it could have been in the past, I guess.
Okay. Back to Bruce or Hulk. This movie made me really love the Hulk character that much more, because before he was just like everyone's, like, he was just the muscle of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bruce was like the brains, but he was never quite the brains as Tony Stark, and I think this was like kind of like a redeeming light for him. And I did.
Like talking about mental health, I guess, you can imagine how having two warring sides within you become one and become peaceful is so much better for your mental health.
Yes.
You know, than just having the Hulk and Bruce Banner.
Oh my god, and it must have been such a trip for him to literally see himself leave the Hulk body when he was trying to get the stone.
Tripped me out too, bitch.
He just got astral punched, and I was just like, what?
What a trip on his brain that must have been. Like...
But even, like, him watching his old self, so, like when they went back in time, and you see the Hulk, just going crazy, and he was like, oh, is I really like that?
Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
He's like a little embarrassed. Yeah. He's like, and they're like, maybe you should smash some things along the way. And he's like, I think that's pretty regressive, but okay.
He's like, oh,
I missed that. That's so funny.
So cute. Also, talk about how fucking mean the Avengers are to him when they're like, oh, no room in the elevator. Like, you gotta take the stairs. Like, no wonder he's so mad all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, no wonder he's mad all the time.
I don't think there was actually room for him in the elevator.
But they still could have said it in a little bit of a nicer way.
You're right.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm saying they were, like, not quite friends yet in the first movie.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to see more of, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, they went out for shawarma at the end. You remember?
Yes. They weren't even fucking talking, though.
I remember when that came out.
Anything else about the Hulk?
I'm happy for him.
He was great.
He was great. I'm happy for him. I'm happy.
I mean, I'm sad that, you know, Natasha died, and it seems like he was at a place where they maybe could have had some sort of relationship. Because it almost seems as if, like, it almost seems as if, like, you know, like, this was like the version of, like, Hulk went to therapy and now he's, like, in a better mental state.
Right. I never really liked that pairing, though, because I thought it was very shoehorned in.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But it, like, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to just see Natasha with the rest of the team. And, obviously, Tony, but, yeah. But, that's done with.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, like, okay, so move on to Ant-Man. What?
Do we want to talk about Thor, actually? Or no?
Yeah, but I have a lot to say about Thor. Let's say about Ant-Man.
Let's do Ant-Man.
So Ant-Man, like, what would it have been like to come back 5 years later from the Snapshire to, like...
Yeah.
To just, like... You know, everyone's gone, like, you run up to those statues, like, not knowing if your daughter's name is going to be on it, and then you find your daughter, and she's, like, fully grown, and, like,
she's going to school.
What a mindfuck!
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, he handles that pretty well, I gotta say.
Well, he mostly plays a comedic character, so they don't give him much room, other than the reunion with his daughter, to be... emotional,
but I will say I think he handled it a little well because he was in
he knew about time travel.
Well, not even that he knew about time travel, but in I forget what it's called, in the tiny place. In the tiny place, time goes by a lot slower. So it had been 5 years out there, but I think he said it had only been like
5 hours.
Few hours, yeah. So for him, it was just a few hours, and it's still a lot to get used to with everything's changed on the outside world. But it's not like he lost 5 whole years of his life not knowing. It was only 5 hours. So that probably helped with the shock.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so he was like, well, of course things have changed. I just didn't think they'd changed this much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like how like mean they were to him, like when like the whole thing was his plan. But now his idea, no one would have came back.
They're not that nice, I realize.
Also, he's such a sweetie. Like the way he like looks at like Captain America and Thor and whatever when they're just like telling their stories. He's so respectful of them.
He's got those hard eyes.
Yeah, them Steven Universe eyes. You guys need to watch Steven Universe. You'll be really happy. But
yeah,
I'm glad of it, and I'm glad that he got his daughter back, and he's back with his daughter. And I thought it was really cute when they're like, "Did you actually send him through time or send time through him?" And he came back as a baby.
Oh my god!
When he said he doesn't know who wet himself, the baby, the old man, or himself.
And I'm like, any of those answers is plausible because I would too.
That's
also
true.
talk about like Hawkeye, just like so like Ant-Man, like, he was like so panicked about like using up like the like syrup to go back in time for like the test runs, and then Clint comes up and he's like, I'll do it, because he just feels so hopeless and like he has nothing to lose.
When he goes
Like,
back and sees and hears his and realizes his family is there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah,
Oh my
there's
God.
so much grief in this movie. It's
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I told Jenny that this movie was made for our podcast, that Marvel Studios told me so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we want to do Thor next or Nebula?
Let's do Thor, because I have a lot to say about both of them. I have a lot to say either way, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Thor was like, I am so bummed out about what they did with this character. Like, for one thing, they turned his character into a fat joke that just lasted for almost the entire movie. Like, our theater was pretty good, and I really didn't hear any laughter. In my theater in Texas, I heard a lot of laughter.
I'm afraid of that when I go watch it again. It's gonna be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, our theater was very like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this isn't funny. The CGI and a fat like suit, like he's going through like PTSD and grief and like all this stuff, and like he like
your body changes. Your body does things when you're dealing with this.
Yeah, and like
right.
And like, alcoholism, and like they had a chance to really tackle mental health, and they failed.
You're right.
Really hard.
They did have that chance, and they did not.
They like when he goes to talk about I gotta say, I don't know which stones are which, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm sorry, whatever.
The red stone.
Which one?
Girl.
Which
when he goes
the time stone? The power stone?
The one.
The soul stone?
I think it might be the reality stone.
The reality stone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when he goes to talk about it, and like, I thought it was kind of realistic when he was talking about it, kind of having like he was drunk and he was like losing it a little bit, and everyone in the room was like kind of like looking around like, this guy's fucking crazy, and I don't know, they just. It was so disappointing.
They missed the point in making it... They missed it. I'll say they missed it in one portraying him in a better light, how trauma affects a person, and they missed it in showing how to be around a supportive group of people as well.
Like Rocket
that's
literally
true.
slaps him in the face. If
Yeah.
if your friend is having a panic attack, like, he literally says he's having a panic attack, and then his friend slaps him in the face.
Yeah.
What? In what reality is that okay?
I feel like that
it's
just makes a worse panic attack.
It's like a classic movie thing where if someone is like panicking, slapping them apparently snaps them out of it.
Who
I
told
mean, I
them
do like that it didn't work and Thor got his ass out of there. I mean, like,
So I think that.
And then his mom. I'm sorry. And then his mom tells him to eat a salad.
Oh no!
So like, you can't even say that. Oh well, he just had the fat belly because of alcoholism, and they were like trying to play it off for that reason. Because his mom literally says eat a salad. So it's like, yeah, you're making him the butt of a fat joke the whole time.
Right. So I think that his reaction to failing to kill, to bring people back and fix everything is valid.
Yeah.
In that he is very depressed. He does get out. He weight gain can happen when you're depressed.
Mm-hmm.
But it all depends on the light in which you portray it, and it's always portrayed comedically.
It is.
And
yeah, like, I mean, I do like that at the end they didn't make him just like all of a sudden skinny once they're in the fight scene. Thank God. Like, fine. And he was still large while he was like in those fight scenes and was worthy again. But like they just spent so much of the movie making him a joke that it was like, okay, like
I don't think they're I don't think whoever wrote the movie are comedy writers. They don't know how to write comedy.
Yeah, so
they don't know how to write good comedy. Yeah,
they basically were like, oh well, like in Ragnarok, Chris Hemsworth was really funny, so let's like make him funny in this movie. And it's like, yeah, Trauma isn't funny.
They should have had Taika Waititi.
Yeah, they should have had Taika Waititi come in and be like, just write Thor. Just write all the Thor characters.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It was just so disappointing. And I've seen so many people commenting that it's like, oh, people are being too sensitive about it, this and that. And it's like, no,
people like this exist.
We're really not. Like, if you're a larger person and you're sitting in a theater and everyone is laughing at Thor in a fucking fat suit and CGI, like, that doesn't feel good. Like,
and you know what? It's not like it's an innovative joke either.
It's not.
It is the same joke that people always do, and it's not funny. It never was funny, and it isn't funny anymore. At this time as well, you know, like it.
They had such a fucking opportunity.
I think that people make mental health funny all the time, actually. Like it's like self-deprecating sometimes, but like it's possible to like have comedy and mental health mix.
Look, I was fine with when he called him Lebowski. I thought that one comment was really funny.
Because he looked like it.
Because he looked like Lebowski.
That was, yes.
But like, they didn't need to put him in a fat suit to do that. Like,
no,
they didn't.
They
didn't need to be like, oh, is he dead? Like, is he asleep and
he
dead?
could also just
like,
not be that buff, probably, and they would still go for the same effect. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It really made it so that, like, if you are not a totally fit superhero, then you should be shamed and you should be bullied by these people who are supposedly your friends.
Right.
Like, you are not worthy because your body is no longer, like, the way it was.
They also kind of treated him like a child sometimes, I felt like. Did you get that sense?
I got that. There was like, you can't do this, don't do this.
Yeah, I think that's because he was drunk so much.
It's a fine line with him being drunk, but like him wanting to redeem himself. There was a lot of layers to deal with that.
Yeah,
but it was. Yeah, and it's also a trust thing because while they were interrogating Thanos, like, he killed him.
Yeah, so that brings us to Nebula, actually. Unless you want, do you have anything else to say about Thor?
No.
Okay, that brings us to Nebula. So before this movie, everyone's talking about who gets the honor of killing Thanos, and people are like, "Oh, it's going to be Tony Stark. It's going to be Captain America. It's going to, et cetera, et cetera."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the best think pieces were on why it should be Nebula.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. What? No, you talk.
I was gonna say her entire life lived to either please this man, be traumatized, she's lived at the hand and in the fear of her abuser her entire life. Like, it's like, hard to.
Yeah, like when Gamora was saying to her, like we can stop this. Like, you can leave him. Like, look, like, future you does leave, and she's like, he'll never let me.
Yeah.
And that's such, like, a recognizable feeling for anyone who's, like, been trapped by their abuser. Like, I personally think her character is the most interesting in the whole movie.
Yeah, I think that she has definitely been one of the more tragic characters.
Yeah, she just sticks her hand straight into that, like, I don't know what it was, but it basically incinerated her whole arm.
Yeah,
without flinching.
Yeah, and it's because she's used to. I took it as
she's
so used to pain that feeling this was nothing to her, and it's like that shouldn't have to be your life. You shouldn't have to go through this. You shouldn't. that moment was very frustrating.
Like, her character has just been repeatedly traumatized and abused. It's like it's like, so it must be so scary for her to have finally like gone up against him.
Yeah, it's hard for anybody to go up against their abuser, and I think what got me the most was when they went back and her memories sync with her past self.
Yeah.
And that was a twist I would have never expected.
I know. You were freaking out in the theater.
I was. That's how every time travel book I've ever read, when you go back in time and your memories overlap, and I was like, oh my god, this is happening. This is what's happening. They must have read that book that I read. The book is all of our wrong todays, by the way. It's cringy at some points, but it's really good. But yeah, her past self going for her. So like past Nebula, who's still under Thanos' control, then going for present time Nebula. And it's like that disparity between them and where they both are in life, because past Nebula looks at her future self and it's like, you're weak, and
she's disgusted with her. She looks like she's gonna kill her.
Yeah. But obviously she's not, because she's the one who was able to get away from Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's extremely
and
strong.
She could become that person too.
She could. Right.
But she didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I love that like Gamora does end up turning on Thanos like much earlier than she would have in the other timeline, because she finds out that her and Nebula become sisters.
Yeah, and I think that's good. I think Nebula...
I'm so happy she's back.
I'm happy she's back. I'm happy Nebula
I
has
wasn't
a sister.
gonna see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 without Gamora in it.
Yeah.
What the fuck's the point?
Yeah.
Which, P.S., does this mean Thor's going to be in that movie?
Maybe.
Yeah. He's... Whoever's the captain of the ship, right? Who's the captain? Who is the captain?
That was such a cute scene.
That was so funny. Oh my god.
But yeah,
oh god.
I love it. When Quill goes up to Gamora and she's like, "Don't ever touch me," and I'm like, "This isn't the same Gamora, you know, kid. Okay, don't do this."
Yeah, she knees him in the nuts, and I feel like that was for the whole LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
Because of Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt is...
He's not up there on the Chris's of the cinema. He's not up there.
Evans.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, just to quickly say, this movie fails. Big F on the LGBTQ spectrum, but they were so.
What? But they gave you one gay character in the movie.
Did they?
Yes,
they did. Did I blink and miss that?
So the gay character they gave us in the movie was one of the Russo brothers played someone in Captain America's grief counseling session where he says he went on a date with another man.
Yeah.
But he is not actually gay. He's a straight man. There are actual gay actors and actresses in this movie who they didn't bother like giving
that line
these types
to.
of
He
roles.
did not need to be in that.
That is not representation. That's
I'm hoping. I know they have plans for the future, and I hope those go well.
And they better involve Valkyrie and Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Which I love. I love that Thor made Valkyrie king.
What?
King, queen, whatever, yeah.
Oh.
He said king.
Yeah.
Yeah, king.
I don't know what that means. Like,
ruler.
What's the difference? Yeah. Okay.
It just means ruler, but...
I do like that, too. She is a good leader.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved getting to see her in action in the movie.
God, that
That's it. Okay, so the memes that came out of this were hilarious because there was one, and I think it was Chris Hemsworth and a lot of the female characters right behind him, and he was taking a selfie, and somebody like memed it, Thor, the god of lesbians. And I was like, this is accurate.
Yeah, are you talking about the one throw all the women a bone scene that gave everyone chills because it was so amazing, and I wish that it was more than 2 seconds long.
I really do wish it was more than that.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's leading to like a team movie. Like what?
Oh my god, that would be too good. Come on, Jenny.
I think it's called A-Force. I think there's like it's based on a comic or something.
That's it?
Mm-hmm. God, that'd be so good. Yeah, but that was great. Captain Marvel comes in.
Yeah.
And well, I loved her interactions with Spider-Man.
Yes, it was so cute.
I mean, I loved everything about Spider-Man because I love everything about Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He's the perfect Peter Parker.
Yeah.
There will never be a better Peter Parker.
Yeah, and their interaction was just so wholesome.
It was, and you don't get a lot of that sometimes.
Yeah. And his hug with Tony Stark. This is nice. It is nice. This is nice. Fucking hug.
He's just so Spider-Man. He just was like talking and talking and talking. And
it's like you didn't. I almost so believe that he didn't stop talking when he got snapped. Like if his conscious was still talking, his conscious was probably still.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's probably true though. Yeah. So good. I love that he became kind of like a son type figure for Iron Man.
When he was like, it's okay to Tony.
Don't do this. I'm gonna cry. Don't do this. I'm gonna cry.
I think he said, "Don't leave" or something.
Don't do this. I'm gonna cry.
I know.
Yeah, and then Pepper told him it's okay to rest.
I know.
I don't.
Well, Jenny's crying, so I'm just gonna take it over and talk about Captain Marvel for a hot second.
I think Arkeida is genuinely crying right now.
I'm not crying.
Yes, you are. It's okay to cry. Crying is good.
It's just so devastating. It's like someone we know actually died. Like it feels.
Yeah, I mean we've known him for 11
terrible.
years.
Yeah, it feels fucking terrible. And like, I like read fan fiction for a reason, because he will live on in that. But like, in canon, it's more real. And yeah, I'm like, it's hard. It's definitely hard to like think about.
Well, I'm so sorry for your loss, Jenny.
Thank you. I'm so sorry for everyone's loss.
I'm here if you need to talk.
Yeah. But there were so many moments, I think, where you like, I know a lot. I've heard people say that it was fan servicey, but I don't even care.
Yeah, I don't care. Every time Captain Marvel showed up, I fucking screamed.
Yeah,
every time. And
the fact that Thanos had to take the Power Stone out just to hit her, I'm like, you are nothing compared to her.
Yeah, like she like.
He headbutted her, nothing happened. He was like, what?
Once she like finally came into that fight scene, I was screaming like finally, why are you wasting my fucking time? Because she's the ultimate weapon, and where the fuck was she?
Right. They have to make excuses for her not to be there so that she just doesn't destroy everybody.
Whatever.
But also, like, when Steve Rogers could pick up Mjolnir.
Oh my god.
Mjolnir.
So, at
we're
awesome
not Norse, just so you know.
At AwesomeCon, my best friend Leanna went and bought me a stuffed version of Mjolnir so that I could give it to my husband to wear all blue and swing around. For sexy times.
Because
Because I was screaming thirst trap while that was happening.
Oh my god.
There was a lot of screaming in our theater, and it was wonderful. See movies with geek girls. That's all I'm saying.
I obviously love Iron Man the most, but that was so hot.
That was real hot. Okay, so
and I love how supportive Thor was.
Yes,
I knew it. And then like when they were like fighting next to each other, they switched.
Yeah,
you take the little one.
Yeah, that was like if I could describe me and my little brother ever playing games, it's me like, you take the little one, I get the big one, and it was like, Thor is now a big brother and a Captain America in my mind.
That was
really sweet.
I thought Captain America fighting Captain America was pretty sexy too.
Yeah,
that was so funny. And he's like, I could do this all day. He's like, I know.
I get it. I get it. Oh my god.
He's like, was I always this obnoxious?
Oh my god, when he says Hail Hydra.
Oh,
so fucking smart.
Yeah.
But really, well, for one thing, that must have been a lot emotionally for him to just say Hail Hydra.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But then, how trippy must it have been to fight himself?
Right.
Because the other Captain America thinks he's fighting Loki.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but he must have been so confused. Whatever. He was like, what the fuck? He can fight just as good as me.
Yeah, I'm like, he knows your moves because he is you.
I know, and then he tells him Bucky's alive.
Oh my god, I forgot about that!
What the hell?
Yeah, you just mess with his brain real hard.
Yep. What in the HE double hockey sticks?
Yeah, let's not mess up any fucking timelines.
Yeah, I'm like, why is this where he... But then this is where my brain starts overlapping with the timelines. I'm like, what if because he tells him he knows?
I was thinking that too.
Totally that's why he knew.
At least he knows his weaknesses. Ugh. Like, he's like, I know.
Yeah. His real love. Yeah. I mean, he's in a poly.
He didn't go dancing with Bucky.
He's in a poly relationship with Bucky and Peggy. Everyone knows
that's true. That's true.
They're both okay with it. So.
And when he finally fucking says "assemble,"
Avengers assemble. God, so good.
Yeah.
Finally.
Fucking chills.
Yes. So good, and like I love that T'Challa and Shuri were the first ones to come out.
Yes.
Of, what is it, like the void or something like that?
Well, the portal. Yeah. Right?
What?
To come back. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they were first to come back, but they were the first to go through the portal. Right?
Yeah. I guess. So, like, were those portals, like, made by Doctor Strange, I guess? Or
Doctor Strange and Wong.
Mm-hmm.
And Wong was there?
Yeah, Okoye was there too, but she wasn't part of the Snatcher. Right. So I guess, I don't really understand why she was part of the people there. Did she, like, go get them somehow?
She's
one of... Or was that just for, like, dramatic effect to have the three of them there?
No, I think she was then part of whatever was left of the Avengers because they didn't have Black Panther or Shuri there anymore.
Right. They were just coming through a portal from Wakanda. They weren't coming from the void. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, I understand. Okay, so they all came back, and then they came. Through
the portal.
Okay, I understand.
Because they would have come back.
I was a little bit confused because I was like, why did they come back later?
I was confused on why you were confused.
Yeah, I was like, why did they come back later than Hawkeye's wife? I don't really understand what's happening, but like, I was like, I guess it's for dramatic effect, just like how Thanos like dusted away later than the rest of his troops.
He's got a lot to dust, though.
He did. And that was also a beautiful scene.
When they were all dusted?
When they all dusted, but specifically when Thanos dusted.
Yes. I can say, and I think I've said it so many times, Thanos is a raggedy ass bitch.
Yeah.
He really is. He snapped half of the fucking world and went farming and picked some tulips. I think that's so... He hung up his suit like a scarecrow and was like, I'm a farmer now. How dare you? How fucking dare you? You had the power and the resources to redistribute food and land and everything, and you're like, I should just kill everybody. Fuck Thanos. Yep. Fuck Thanos. Fuck capitalism too. That's a capitalistic way of thinking.
Yeah.
Yep.
My cat's staring at me like, "Why are you so loud?"
So so what's wrong with Thanos? Is he like a narcissist or like what are we?
He has a god. He is a narcissist with a god complex and a savior complex. I don't know what's wrong with him. But the thing is, he has this following, and that's how a lot of cult leaders get their
He
following.
is a cult leader.
He is a cult leader. He's got Squidward on his side.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the character. His name is Squidward.
Did you see SpongeBob behind him? Did you? Oh my god,
Patrick.
Yeah.
Where was Sandy at, Mr. Krabs?
Oh my god. Yeah. Fuck him. I think another really big moment, obviously whatever the word is, the moment when Tony puts on the Infinity Gauntlet, basically.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he knows he's gonna die,
and
he resigned. He knows he's gonna die.
Yeah, it was also very. It just felt so powerful. Yeah, and I loved it. I loved it in the moment, even knowing that he would not survive that.
Yeah.
I'm still very confused, and I might have missed it, but how did you get the stones onto his gauntlet from Thanos?
Magnets. I don't know.
I was just like, let's just call it magnets and that Tony's smart.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you know, please write in.
Yeah.
Comment on our Facebook.
Yeah. But, I mean...
I just assume because he's who built the glove that Thanos was wearing. And he had a matching glove. So maybe, like...
I don't know. He figured it out.
Yeah.
By being a fucking genius who invented time travel? I don't know.
Yeah.
One of my last favorite scenes was that was when Sam got Captain America's shield instead of Bucky.
Yeah, because, oh my god, I was really happy that they were able to save the shield or bring one from the past or something.
Yeah.
Because his shield was getting decimated during that battle.
God.
I was like, what? No! You don't even have your little tiny stealth shield you had in Wakanda. Like, what are you going to use?
I know. I love that, like, when Tony brings it back for him and he's like, I had to give it to you before Morgan uses it as a sled.
Yeah, that's funny. I love it.
I thought that was cute.
Yeah, but I love it because like everyone was like, oh yeah, Bucky has to take over for Cap, so like that's where it's gonna go. And I love that they just fucking skipped over it and gave it to Sam. That made me so happy. Super in love with that.
I'm really looking forward to the next few movies and seeing Sam as the new Captain.
Well, I'm not sure if he's gonna be in the movies anymore because he's having a TV show.
What show?
With Bucky.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Number one, didn't know that. That's super cool. But
yeah,
you can't give. Come on, you're giving us a representation of having a black Captain America, and then you're not going to give him a movie. What the fuck? No. No.
No.
I need a team that is not all white men.
I don't think that they will do that anymore.
I was mad that there was no after the scene credit. I understand that it's like, okay, it's like the end of an era, but I was like, okay, like so
something.
We did miss something though. I looked it up and there was no scene, but they played the banging over the credits, which I think is a reference to Iron Man creating Iron Man in the first movie.
Okay.
Yeah, but we missed it because we were doing the raffle stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm gonna see it again next week, so I'll have to listen for it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they did want to, they wanted it to end like a movie. I'm fine with it.
I guess I get what you're saying, ending it like a movie and not like, oh, we have to wait and see what's gonna come next. Like,
right.
What's the next movie after this? Even though we know it's Homecoming.
The end of an era,
it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Avengers.
For ripping my heart out.
So I was gonna say it for that ass again, but
America's ass really is.
Thank you for
he
that.
He really is America's ass now, and I love that.
Yeah,
that ass belongs to all Americans,
all of us. I'm gonna put a nice little statue of it up here. Not permanent.
Steal it from the Captain America statue that goes
that's
around
in
New York. Yeah,
it's down in Industry City.
Right.
Yeah. So who do you think has grown the most?
Like which character?
Character or actor? Even character.
Character.
It's a toss up between Tony and Captain America.
Okay.
Who are you going to say?
I think I would say probably okay, so I'm saying Thor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I really did not like him in the first movie. He was
Did anybody?
Right. He was he was so obnoxious sometimes. But he's completely different now.
He is. And I would like to thank Taika Waititi for that.
Yeah. Definitely.
And like in the second movie he was not as bad, but he was a little more boring.
Yeah.
But in the third one, he really bloomed. His character was like so much more interesting, motivated. It was I just really liked what his character has become. And obviously he's gone through a lot of shit just like everybody else has. But like I think it's been really, really good and really he's changed a lot. And what do you think about Tony and Captain America?
Well, I'd say Captain America has grown a lot from when he first started. He's still very bullheaded and very much set in his ways, but I think that after Age of Ultron, Age of Ultron is when I started to see the shift kind of in who he was. And that's when did Age of Ultron, was that before or after Winter Soldier? That was after Winter Soldier. When was Winter Soldier? Oh my god, there's so freaking many.
Too many.
Of them.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was like around then that I started to see the shift in seeing him. Yes, he was always a compassionate person, but he never quite got the bigger picture. And it was until like more recent movies that I would say that he's grown and understands that like it can't just be about what's immediately happening, what's immediately changing in front of him. He has to think longer term. And Tony is just because I'm biased.
Hold on. Let me just take my 5,000 word essay about Tony Stark's growth.
Oh my god. Also,
okay.
I'm just kidding.
We didn't really talk about Pepper Potts at all, which
we did not.
I do want to mention because, like, talk about what it must take to know that your husband is basically committing himself to death. Because he, she kind of gives him permission to die at the beginning of the movie when he says that he invented time travel. She knows, will you be able to rest? She knows right then that he's gonna die. I think she knows right then.
She has to. I feel like
she knows him, and she knows he's gonna stop at nothing to save the world, essentially. So, like,
and she decides to be with. She knows he's that kind of person now,
and she's with him.
Like, if you marry a literal superhero, they might die.
And I'm glad that it's nice to see that they were able to stay together through all of everything that's happened.
Also, she got her own suit in this movie.
Yes, she did. Yeah. I mean, they did kind of hint at it at the end of Iron Man 3, and I've been waiting for it.
Yeah.
But
that was cute that they gave us a little scene of the two of them together in their suit.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Would you have cried 10 times as hard if there was like a little Morgan suit?
Stop it! Well, she does like to play with his mask all the time.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Yeah, I think Pepper is, super supportive.
She is. She always has been too. Like, it's not been a recent thing. She's always been supportive. It's when he's making stupid ideas or like not taking care of himself and not being responsible that like
pushing her away.
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, but I think we would have been. It would have been a bad job not to have mentioned Pepper Potts.
It would have.
In this
we
podcast.
need her. Yeah, we need her.
So is there anyone else that we want to talk about, or anything else during the movie? I mean, we talked about a lot.
We did.
We covered a lot. Yeah.
We did. It was great. I'm going to see it again next week, and figure out how Tony got the stones on his hand. I need to figure it out.
I don't. It literally was a split second.
He grabbed his hand, and then it looked like he pulled them out.
Yeah, somehow.
Because the power hadn't quite gone through Thanos yet, and it looked like he grabbed it and pulled them out, and then they slid into place onto Tony's gauntlet.
I just probably took a really long blink.
I watched it twice.
Okay,
right.
I haven't. The second time I was eyeing it, and I was just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome to rewatch everything.
Yeah, I mean, I want to watch it again, honestly. Not in Texas. I guess I'll watch it at my house because, man, that theater was fucking boring.
Where are you gonna watch it again?
I said, I don't know, maybe my house when it comes out,
in your
because
house.
that theater was boring. Also, I'm sorry I talked about that so much. It's just that it was super fun being able to actually watch this movie with my co-host, because Jenny and Arkeida live in New York and I live in Austin, so we never get to go watch a movie together, all three of us. So this is the first time we got to.
This
so that was super great.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy we got to do this together.
Yeah.
And what a movie to have gotten to watch together.
Yeah, come on.
We couldn't have picked a better one.
Yeah.
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 But yeah. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the movie and everyone gets the chance to see it again. But as always, thank you so much for listening. And if you like what you hear, subscribe, review, and rate us. Our social medias are
Fandom and Wellness on Instagram.
Fandom and Wellness on Facebook.
And Fandom Wellness on Twitter.
So if you want some bonus content, we will be posting, and we have been posting, Geek Sessions and other extra content to our Patreon.
Your support means that we can continue to improve the podcast. So join our fangirl family at patreon.com/fandom and wellness. We will also be posting the panel that we just did at AwesomeCon on why inclusion in fandoms is important to mental health.
Yep.
Yes. And remember, be kind and take no shit. We love you 3000.
We love you 3000!